Good afternoon, and welcome to Thinking Tuesday. If it is 12 noon on Tuesday, this is where we meet. So, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to sharing with you another message that will add value to you and that you can share with others who may not be joining us at this moment. But good afternoon, and welcome to Thinking Tuesday. Um, this is the time of the week when we meet to check in, actually, to check in for a mental checkup. Check in for a mental checkup. What am I thinking? Why am I thinking what I'm thinking? Is it serving me well? Is my thinking a hindrance to where I want to go, to who I want to be, and to what I want to have, to what I want to achieve? Is our thinking getting in the way of what we want to achieve? Is it creating a path for me to grow? Is a question that we should ask. Is it allowing me to stretch myself and find out who I truly am and what I'm capable of achieving? Some great questions that we need to ask ourselves, and that's what Thinking Tuesday is about. Is it limiting? Is my thinking limiting my vision of my capabilities? Because many times we think in ways that really limit us from seeing who we could be and what we could achieve. So, this is part of the checkup, the mental checkup that we need to be doing. Is my thinking keeping me looking in the rearview mirror, regretting what I might have done that did not work or where I failed, instead of looking ahead? Looking ahead, opening my mind to seek and find new ways of doing something that I might have failed at in the past, because we know that it's not a failure if we learn something from it. Because failures can be useful, and they're not a failure until we determine that they are. So we have control over that as well. So these are the types of questions that I encourage you to ask yourself during your mental checkups. Just like we have our physical checkups, we should have our mental checkups, because that's where it begins. Our physical being and our physical well-being is all related to our mental well-being. How we think determines how we're going to feel and how we're going to act. These are questions that you must ask yourself if you want to get a clearer vision of the path that you would like to create for yourself. It's part of your compass, your mental compass. So last week, if you remember, those of you who saw it or those of you who saw the replay, you remember that I shared with you the importance of taking an inner journey. And we're talking about with vacation, the summer approaching, we're preparing for vacation. As much as we like to travel outwardly and prepare for those real nice vacations, memorable vacations, as much as we like to travel outwardly to those places to learn more about new cultures and see new sights and enjoy meeting new people, we must also place great value in traveling inward, as I mentioned last week, learning more about ourselves and what our inner landscape looks like. It's nice to see the outer landscape, but it's important to actually become familiar with and to know what our inner landscape looks like. Because it is only in knowing ourselves that we can make those changes that help us to grow ourselves, because that's what this is all about, growing ourselves. We don't want to be stagnant. Life is too precious, and life has so much to offer, too much to offer. We don't want to miss out on anything. We don't want to be stagnant. So this kind of thinking supports our slogan for Thinking Tuesday, which is your mind is a garden and your thoughts are the seeds, and you can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. And it's only by taking that regular inventory of what we're cultivating mentally that we can become aware of what is driving our actions and how we can reinforce the good that we're doing, but also weed out those self-limiting beliefs and non-productive thought patterns. So we need to know what's going on within us so that we can make those changes that are necessary and reinforce those that we're doing well and complement them with other types of thoughts, new thoughts. It's all about awareness, being aware of where we are, what we're thinking, and also intentionality. What are we going to do? What can you discover about yourself? And then what do you do with what you discover? Because just discovering things about yourself without enhancing them, if they need to be enhanced, without complementing them, if they need to be complemented, or getting rid of them if they're not working for you. So it's awareness and intentionality. What do you discover? And then what do you do with what you discover? I want to share a very short but important exercise that can be extremely impactful, both in the negative and the positive. But we're going to support, reinforce the positive here. That's where we're going to give our attention to. But I want you to be aware that this is something that we do all the time, and it can serve us negatively or positively. If you were to count, if any of us were to count how many times per day we repeat the words I am, we would be utterly amazed. Just try thinking about that for a while. We use those two words so often, every day. But these two simple words dictate how we feel about ourselves. For instance, I am proud. And many of us are proud these days as our loved ones, our young people are graduating and we see how well they're doing. Some of us are graduating also. We're proud of our accomplishments. So I am proud, or I am hungry. It tells us how we're feeling internally, physically. I am angry. Those are strong feelings that dictate how we're going to respond. I am late. You might get anxious because we're late for an appointment. I am tired. And it's good to recognize if we're tired, then we know we need rest. I am happy. There's a lot to be happy about despite all that's going on in the world today. I am happy. I am frustrated because there are a lot of things that make us frustrated. I am pretty. I am attractive. It tells you how you feel about yourself. I am overweight. That won't let us feel too good, but that's how we see ourselves. And we can only begin to make changes when we look at and understand how we feel, how we describe ourselves. I am exhausted. I am successful. I am a failure. I am satisfied. I'm a good wife, or I'm a good husband. I'm a good parent. These thoughts are occurring for a reason. These thoughts, these statements come from our thoughts, and they tell us how we feel about ourselves. But why is that particular I am statement occurring to you when it does? You need to be aware of the I am statements that you're making to yourself. What brought that I am statement, that particular I am statement to mind? And we know that thoughts or beliefs drive our feelings, and then they in turn drive our behavior. So there are going to be consequences for the statements, the I am statements that we're making to ourselves. And we do it so often, we sometimes are not aware that we're doing it. We behave in ways to justify our thoughts and our feelings. So we must be conscious of what we're thinking. The I am statements, in particular, also, that we're speaking about today. When we focus on our thoughts, we give them energy. Because where our focus goes, our energy flows. We give life to what we give our attention to. Because whatever we focus on expands and intensifies. So we want to be aware of what it is that we're thinking. What are the I am statements that we're telling ourselves? We have to become more conscious of it, because as we become more conscious of it, we can determine, are they working for us? Are they not working for us? So we have the freedom of thought, and we have the freedom to change our thoughts, which is great news. We're not stuck in our thinking, or we could be, but we can always move from there. It's really all in our control. So as you take your inner journey today, and I encourage you to take regular inner journeys, you don't have to tarry very long, but you should allow yourself to take that inner journey at least daily, several times a day. Be conscious about what your I am statements are. That's the exercise that I would like you to practice today and every day. What are the I am statements that I'm speaking into my life today and tomorrow and beyond? Are they uplifting and encouraging, or are they self-limiting and discouraging? Because we can do a good job on that of that ourselves. But I want you to do that exercise and become more conscious of the I am statements. Are they encouraging or discouraging? Are the sources that give birth to them credible? Because sometimes we allow people to speak into our lives and we don't think about the intentions of those who speak into our lives. Hopefully, most of them are good. But are those credible sources that are speaking those statements that translate to our I am statements? How can you become more of an independent thinker and dispel those that are not in your best interest? You don't just welcome everything that everyone says to you. You have to examine them. Try them on like you try on something before you buy it, right? Are you willing to change those that are not serving you well? Because only you can do that. If you're tired of getting the same results all the time, begin to think about what kind of I am statements are you speaking into your lives every day. Sometimes it's going to take your willingness to borrow someone else's credibility, someone else's belief in you. It could be a teacher, it could be a parent, a friend, a mentor, someone who sees the potential that you don't see right now, and hopefully you will. Don't be too quick to disregard the positive feedback that you're getting from others just because it doesn't feel right to you right now, or just because you don't see yourself that way. Allow people to speak into your life. Let it resonate with you. Sit with it for a while. Don't discard it right away. You can't discard it, or you shouldn't discard it if you're going to discard it before you examine it. Allow yourself to try on new I am statements, because you can create any I am statement that you want. And I'm encouraging you to make those positive I am statements. Truthful statements, because it's only when you're truthful with yourself that you can change some of those I am statements that's not working for you, that you don't deserve to be speaking into your life. You can begin with your imagination. Again, that faculty that we all have that can be very useful in helping us to project a vision of how we would like to see ourselves, the type of life we would like to live. Begin with your imagination, speak it into existence, and allow yourself to believe that you can attain what you're seeking. Because remember that where your attention goes, your energy flows. And where your energy flows, the resources become available to you as you remain open to creating new beliefs about yourself. So all of that is in your power, in your control. I don't have to know you personally. I really don't have to know you personally, but I do know that you are fully resourced to be, do, and have what you desire. That I do know because we're all created that way. The question is, are you willing to bet on yourself and borrow from the credibility of others who believe in you, especially as a start? So your inner journey is, I would say, the most important journey that you will ever take. The others might be nice, they might be enjoyable, but getting to know yourself by journeying inward is the most important journey that you'll ever take. Keep yourself open to the great things that you will find out about yourself. Because we are all incredible people, able to do incredible things, able to do, be, and have what we desire. So, as I say weekly, I hope that this has added value to you. If there's someone in your life, someone that you know, a family member, a co-worker, a friend, anyone who you feel could benefit from this message, please share this with them. Encourage yourself also. These messages are also on my YouTube channel, Thinking Tuesday, Cheryl Burton, Thinking Tuesday. All of my Thinking Tuesday messages are on YouTube. Feel free to visit my website, as I always encourage you to do, to see the programs and services that I have that would help you develop some of these types of resources that you already have in you, to find them, to get on a personal growth journey, because no one wants to be stagnant. No one should be stagnant. You also can book me to speak through my website. It's drcherylburton.com. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at the same time, at noon, for another mind elevating, thinking, stretching exercise and messages on how you can be the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful long weekend. Be good to yourself. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at noon for Thinking Tuesday. Bye for now. Take care.